It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. I'm Jason Minnix. The Texas Rangers, they've got a final up there. They beat the Los Angeles Angels 7-6, so Texas improves to 58 and 100 on the season as they play out the string. As we do every Thursday at 4:30, Eric Morris, the head football coach at UIW, joins us. Coach, I was at the game Saturday. Congratulations. That was a hell of a win over McNeese State.
I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun and, well-rounded. Thought we played well on all three sides of the ball, and so happy for our kiddos and our coaching staff.
Now, we talk a lot about Cam Ward, Brown, your offense. You score a lot of points. How tough to your defense? And I don't know what you do for your defensive coordinator, Justin Deason, when he gets the first shutout in school history. We've talked a lot of times about issues on the defensive side. That was a dominant group.
Yeah, they did an incredible job, and from start to finish, which was fun to watch. He got heavy praise in the locker room after the game, got the game ball, but hats off to him. I mean, they're grinding their tails off each and every day, meeting extra with the kiddos. And so, I thought the key of the game was third and fourth down. I think we held them to converting like 17% of their opportunities, and we're great in the red zone. So that usually equals bad for the opposing offense, and they were able to get the goose egg.
I know it can't be lost on you. First shutout in program history. I mean, UIW doesn't have a 100-year history, but I mean, that's a hell of an achievement.
Oh, there's no doubt. And so, and just super proud of the players for working so hard. And I told them in the locker room, I mean, they've heard it, since last year that they hear this about the offense, that about the offense, all these yards and points we're putting up, and everybody wants the dog and talk trash on them. And for them to just keep their head down, consistently come in, day out, work hard, and to be paid like that on a Saturday afternoon, I think is a lot of fun as a coach, just to come to the locker room and see their faces and how much it meant to them.
At what point during the game did you think, all right, we can get a shutout here? And was there any point where, does that even creep into your mind where you're like, man, we've got to get this shutout? Because you start rolling in some other players in there, ultimately you're going to get the win. That's what matters. But seeing that goose egg up there at the end, at what point did you realize that was certainly in play, realistic? And did you try to maintain getting and preserving that shutout?
Yeah, it's super rewarding. Now, I will be honest with you, is I think I'm the world's worst play caller in a 4-minute offense. And for those of you that don't know, I mean, a 4-minute offense is where you want to milk the clock, take the clock down to 0, take your time. And we just don't practice that way. We put tight ends in there and we try to mash it in between the tackles. And that's just not how we're built. I get more anxiety calling football plays. That last quarter where we had our backups in the whole entire quarter, I had more anxiety calling those football plays than I have in my whole entire life, just because I'm itching and calling for a first down somehow, some way, trying to keep our defense off the field because they're doing such a great job. And we were able to sketch out one first down, so that's an improvement for me. But I am my email's open for anybody that has any kind of ideas for 4-minute offense plan. I
think hand the play sheet to somebody else.
That might not be a bad idea. And I'm being serious.
When you know your strengths and your weaknesses at some point, it is interesting. I'm glad you brought that up. Can we, let's go into the ditch for a minute. And I'm not just completely talking about Mike McCarthy and clock management down the stretch, because even Jerry Jones says that every team seems to struggle with clock management. I don't know if you were watching the Monday night game, Cowboys and Eagles, but they had 2 timeouts, they didn't use them, they could have gotten another possession. In today's world of football, where it's all about possessions, maximizing possessions, especially with an offense like they have, why does it seem difficult for coaches to have time management issues when all of us on our couches are screaming at the TV. The Manning cast, I thought Peyton Manning was going to have an aneurysm trying to get Mike McCarthy to take a timeout.
Yeah, I think they're scared not to make a mistake, and I'm totally opposite. I'm always want to stay super aggressive. What we do, I mean, our average scoring drive is less than 2 minutes, even just in the course of a normal game, and so that's just how we operate, how we practice. And so I'm total opposite. I'm always calling timeouts, even probably when I shouldn't. Like if I could get the ball back with 20 seconds, I'll ask the guy, hey, do I have at least 20 seconds, and we'll take it down the field. And so, I think it's guys just are afraid of something negative happen, maybe like where their team, where the mojo is right there, where the energy's moving on the field. But I'm total opposite. He definitely, I think, with Dak, with that offense, the way they were playing in the first half, should have called those timeouts and given them a chance to get in a 2-minute drill.
He said he was comfortable with a 20-7 lead, even though Philadelphia was going to get the ball to start the second half. Is there a point in a game where you say, I'm comfortable with this lead?
I don't think before halftime you ever do that. I think you get to a point in the McNeese game where, we were able to take some guys out there at the end of the third quarter, starting the fourth quarter, that we felt comfortable with the way our defense was playing. And then obviously what they like to do on offense, they're not a high tempo team. They want to slow it down and run it. And so we thought that kind of played in our favor. But never have I ever been a part of a football game where with a couple minutes left in the first half, when you're up 14, you're thinking about, hey, I'm comfortable with this.
When you're at home watching a football game, are you like every other fan screaming at the TV for the coach doing stuff?
No, and my wife bugs me because I just don't talk when I watch it. I kind of take it in and like to kind of think through different scenarios and situations without talking aloud. And so we'll have people over and I'm sitting there watching, and my wife, she's asking all kinds of questions or asking, do I like that play? Is that a good decision? This and that. I don't say anything, and it just drives her crazy. So I'm just the opposite. I try to take it all in and just keep all my thoughts to myself.
When was the last time you just jumped out of your chair screaming at the TV, so angry at what you saw?
Golf. I love golf. And so, I'm watching the Ryder Cup, and we had Justin Thomas. First Spieth, it's an amazing shot from the bank, and it goes straight up in the air and drops it to like 5 foot. And so I'm secretly watching this right before we go out to practice. I think it was on Friday, and we're sitting there, and everybody walks in because I'm screaming at the TV because Justin Thomas missed a 5-foot putt, and it ended, and we didn't get a point there.
So not for football, but other sports, you're like a normal fan.
Correct. Yeah.
Fair enough. Eric Morris, head football coach of the UIW Cardinals, on the road this week. You got a 3-game win streak after, dropping the opener in overtime. Your defense pitches a shutout. I was going to give you a little bit of business because you guys didn't score 40 for the first time this season against McNeese. But I also know you pulled a lot of guys out and took your foot off the gas pedal in that game. Were you a little disappointed you didn't hit 40?
Yeah, but, not really where we took them out even, but we should have. We were really inefficient in the red zone and third downs. And really, that's two of the things that we've been super good at through the course of the spring season and now into the start of this season is we've been just incredible on third down, and our red zone efficiency is great. And so it kind of bugged me that we had opportunities. We drove the ball good. We put ourselves in great positions. We were not able to capitalize in those two critical situations. And so those are the two things, looking back on a coach, that we've kind of been harping on this week, is we got to get back to our ways and playing winning football on third downs, which we call money downs. And then obviously we get in the red zone. We never want to leave it up to a kicker. We want to put that thing in the end zone ourselves.
You're going on a road playing against a team that they're 0-3. How do you make sure your guys stay even keeled and don't look at this team and say, yeah, this is going to be an easy win?
Yeah, I think I preach the same message, as Coach Traylor is right now. He is don't take the cheese. But we talk all the time, about just having poise, never getting too high or too low, not reading your own press clippings. As my mentor Mike Leach said, not to listen to your girlfriends. He said another word in front of that, but everybody can watch the YouTube on that one. But yeah, I mean, we have to remember what got us here. I mean, our theme is the finish, and we talk about continuing to chop wood and to continue to work on the little things week in, week out, and remember that the preparation is what gives us these opportunities to be successful on Saturdays. And so this team's come to our place. The last 2 years, they've been the last place team in our conference. We've been winning the conference at those times, and they've been able to get the best of us. So we've definitely reminded our guys of what's happened in the history of this matchup.
If I remember correctly, because I went to that game last year at Benson Stadium, they come in, I think they were 0-4, 0-5. Former Stevens quarterback Bryce Rivers, and what they win, like 49-47. I mean, it was a crazy game. You know, you're kind of happy for Rivers, but then not, because it knocked you guys off setting up that game, I believe, the following week against Sam Houston. But they showed they could go score a whole bunch of points.
Yeah, no doubt. And we'll have to come out and play with the same attitude, energy that we have the past couple of weeks on defense, and then be able to score more points. And really, you know, I'm not worried about our stats, and people want to ask, you know, all kinds of things about how we're doing statistically in Cam Ward and touchdowns and passing yards, all that. Like, that is all out the window. I mean, I want to win this football game and continue to stay on track to ultimately, you know, have a shot at the conference title at the end of this thing. And so we get a bye. We're a little banged up right now, but we get a bye week next week, which is great timing for us. So we got to go on the road and handle our business, and then be able to get into a bye week and have 2 weeks to prepare for a really good Nichols team.
Yeah, absolutely. And nice getting the bye. And Rivers isn't there anymore, right? I was trying to look at their numbers. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not there, and I don't really know why. I haven't heard the backstory on it. I mean, I know everybody got an extra year, but I'm not exactly sure why he's not anymore. But played really good late for him last year.
Well, so what does the new quarterback do? I mean, you know, your defense has a shutout on the record. They can't turn around and, you know, they got to go have another bad game. They got to back that thing up.
Oh, there's no doubt. And they have a really good running back, and that's first and foremost. That's who we have to stop. He was really explosive against us last year. A junior college kid from Trinity Valley or Kilgore, I believe, Scooter Adams. Anytime you're named Scooter and you're the fastest guy on the field, we better know where Scooter is every play.
I don't know who the broadcasters are going to be on ESPN for that one, but I'm sure they're going to have a lot of fun with the running back named Scooter.
He can roll. Good player.
I bet. What's the travel like for you guys this year?
Yeah, so really this is our only long travel on a bus, and so we'll leave out. We're actually going to get up. We missed the practice earlier this week because of the lightning and had to come back later last night and actually practice. And so we're actually going to go to the Dome tomorrow morning because there's a high likelihood of rain tomorrow morning. So we'll get that in. We'll come feed them some breakfast tacos as we get on the bus about 10 o'clock. Go down the road, always stop at Buc-ee's. I'm a huge Buc-ee's fan. So we'll go to Katy, pull off in Katy, let everybody go in Buc-ee's, spend some time, have some food delivered there. And then we're actually staying at Toledo Bend, just on the other side of the lake there in East Texas. And then we'll be about 35 minutes from it. But it's a 6-hour trip, so we'll try to get there by 6 o'clock tomorrow. Then we kind of have all day tomorrow to kind of continue to watch film, have meetings, do some more walkthroughs, and then get on the road. But the only thing you hate about these bus trips is, you know, you're talking about you're getting back on the bus after a late night game and getting home at 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that makes it tough. From a protocol standpoint, some of the stuff you guys had to deal with last year, any of that carrying over? Is it back to sort of normal?
Pretty close to normal right now, with the fact that, you know, on the buses still have to wear masks, but we have it all. If you're vaccinated, you can have a more of a capacity in the buses. And so if you do have unvaccinated people, which we only have a couple that we travel right now, they have to be a little bit more spread out and a little bit harsher rules on them per se. And so yeah, it's getting a lot better. It seems to be more normal besides the mask. I mean, nobody likes to have a mask on sitting on a bus for a long ride, but that's the only thing that really is uncomfortable still.
Can I ask you, for those that are unvaccinated and they've got the extra restrictions on them or the extra protocols, there's a lot of talk in the NBA about what the NBA is doing with unvaccinated players. How difficult is it for those individuals to be if isolated is the right word, isolated from the rest of their vaccinated teammates?
Yeah, it's extremely hard. I mean, almost impossible. When we're talking about football and meetings and coming in and out, and, you know, in our building here, having, you know, 150 people in this small building, and the operation, the meetings, the special teams, moving around, to getting taped, to getting dressed, to the transition on the field, to banging heads out there for 2 hours a day, sweating, tackling, blocking. I mean, let's just be real with ourselves. I mean, there's no way to really keep it completely from being out. So our kids have done a great job throughout this whole thing. And the one thing I think they've learned more than anything is just sanitation and how it should be anyways, as really taking care of yourself and before and after practice, and washing your hands and keeping your clothes clean, and just the simple everyday aspects of life that would cause them to be more healthy anyways is one thing I think that it's helped.
Good stuff. Eric Morris, head football coach at UIW. I know it's a long road trip. Go down there, get another win. We'll talk to you next week.
Jason, appreciate it as always. Thanks for coming out last week.
I had a lot of fun there. Had the Cardinal Club. We were on the field, free. Well, it was part of the Cardinal Club. There's plenty of cold drinks right there. The iced tea was fantastic, and the food, everything. It was a great time and a good game to watch.
No doubt. Let's get more and more San Antonio coming out to watch it. There's good football being played in San Antonio right now, huh? A lot of fun for everybody.
Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. And for you, you had that 11 o'clock game. You didn't have to watch your Red Raiders get skull dragged by Texas.
They got stumped. I haven't watched the film yet. I'm going to watch a little bit of it on the road tomorrow. So.
Don't, why ruin your trip?
I might find a cool play or something I can use in the future, you know, from one side or another.
There you go. Appreciate it, Coach. Good luck. Always trying to find something. Always. Always.
Have a good night.
Always. All right, man. We'll see you. Eric Morris, head football coach at UIW, as he joins us every week here on the Blitz. And you think about this weekend of college football. This is going to be a great weekend of college football. They play a night game, UIW does,